Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for December 29th and 30th of 2025 and January 2nd of 2026. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
So we had a bit of a short week. We did not have new episodes on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. New Year's Day, we talked about last week that they were re-airing the Anthony Geary farewell. The thing that I'm not liking the most about it is that how much they're promoting it as say goodbye to Luke Spencer again. Like we share, and it's like it says like on some of their promotional material, like tribute to Anthony Geary. And it's like, no.
And what's sad is I was listening to last year's recap and we must have said 400 times how awesome Bobby's tribute was because it was so in-depth and like gave us the whole story. And then we just talked about it, obviously, because we just finished Bobby. And so between those two things, I'm like, it is just glaring in my brain how unfair this was to do for Luke.
And Stephen Bradford shared on their page, on their Instagram. Where did it go? Today's Annalee's birthday.
Aw.
January 2nd, 1913. She would have been 113 years old and still would be as cute as anything.
Right.
Oh, and it was Ron Hale's birthday, too. So Stephen Bradford shared on their Instagram, while some viewers welcomed the re-airing as a nostalgic tribute to one of daytime's most legendary performances, others felt the episode didn't fully live up to the weight of the moment. Was this final episode, and they have final in all caps, a fitting farewell to Tony Geary as Luke Spencer, or a complete letdown? And many people agree with us, and I did just comment and said it was satisfactory since we typically do have a re-air on New Year's Day, which we do, and it's so soon after his passing. However, there needs to be more. There needs to be something honoring the decades and impact that he made on daytime TV that made him such a legacy, especially since the farewell episode was the end of weeks-long story arc of his last adventure. So, like, if you're a newer fan that didn't watch in 2015 and you watched January 1st for Luke's farewell episode, you have no idea what you just watched.
Right.
And I'm sorry, right now, I really don't think I can emotionally handle doing Luke Spencer after we just finished Lucky and Bobby.
Right.
Like, it is fun. It is a lot of work, though. But it is fun. It's also a lot of work. And there is a lot of emotion that goes into it. If you guys listen, I cry a lot. But it's not just that. It's revisiting everything. And then, we talk about it, where we were in our lives and all that stuff. And I mean, we've talked about that with other fans, that's what really General Hospital is. And that's why you get so sucked into different storylines, is because you remember, but that's when I had my kid, that's when I was getting married. I didn't watch too much then and all that stuff.
Right.
And then I said, just the last episode wasn't enough. And so I hadn't really thought about that either, was that it was at least a month-long story arc that they had of him doing the final. I mean, for whatever reason, Frank Smith was somehow still alive for no reason. But
right.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jake back through it. All these things that if you only watched that final episode, and I did not watch, did you?
Nope.
I didn't. But if you only watched that standalone episode, I don't feel like it would have made sense.
Right.
So I'm sorry, guys. I feel like we've I don't think either of us thought that we were going to be in a position where we should even consider doing Luke.
No.
Anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
Like, at least for 5-6 years, that.
Right.
So we've joked, can you imagine when we finally have to do Luke Spencer? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys. We can't do it right now. And I don't even want to ask somebody else to, because that's one that is just a lot. However, I don't know when exactly we're doing it, but we are going to do Faison soon.
You've been dying for that one.
Well, they didn't even talk about him this week, so not jumping on that. But we're also getting back to fan spotlights. We have a few already scheduled for January that we're going to do. We're going to work on not loading them up too soon, though, because we've discovered this when we talk with someone and don't release it for 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, oh, shoot.
Your whole view could have changed in 2 weeks because you get a new piece of information.
Yep. So we are going to stagger them out a little bit, but I'm excited to get back to talking with our friends. So with that, let's get to our Port Charles pipelines. We only have one email this week, and it is from, sorry, Louise. Hola, my lovelies. Just a quickie here, but I've looked and looked and looked, and I can't find any info on what happened to little Mikey Weber. I know he moved away with Leslie and Rick, but what happened to him as Leslie and Rick's storylines moved forward? I'm hoping my favorite podcasters have come across something in your research. I'm so sorry, honey. No, but thank you for us being your favorites. That's so sweet. If not, c'est la vie. Well, hopefully he's off somewhere living it up after having hit a lotto mega jackpot. I know the celebrations will have passed by the time you get this, so I just want to wish you both a happy, healthy 2026 filled joy and peace with your amazing families. Oh,
that's so sweet.
I just got all warm and fuzzy.
Right?
Oh, I love this too. Hasta luego, your girl, Louise. I love you. Yeah, no, and here's the thing. We had better get. Leslie has to be next. Laura has already opened up that door with Monica's passing, Leslie was sick. She was going to make it, but Leslie was sick.
Right.
I'm torn on, I do think that she deserves proper send-off, like an actual.
Right, but it's going to suck to see that they're going to do a whole funeral and proper send-off for her and that then they didn't for Luke. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to take away from anyone else. They all deserve the amazing goodbyes that they deserve, just like we saw Bobby get last year. But I'm not sure why we think that we can't find a way to rewrite Luke into the picture. Explain something.
Well, because I think that Leslie's last appearance was for the 50th, wasn't it? Wasn't it in 2013? But that was even so brief.
Yeah.
But I think that her final scene was fight. Oh, no, her and Monica called a truce, didn't they?
I'm trying to remember when that was.
I think that would have been for the 50th.
Was that for the 50th?
I don't know. Either way, we did. Well, why did we? She was one of the first 411s that we ever did, was Leslie Weber. And we did it. It was a 2-part. And I feel like she actually might have been our first 2-part too, because we only knew her, again, like older, and we didn't really know the story of her like back in the 80s when, she drove off the cliff and like all that stuff.
Right.
And that's how we made our friend Steve Silverman, just because we shared our episode on Instagram and he reached out to us, and he was friends with Denise Alexander and said that he sent it to her and she listened to it and she loved it. We never had the honor of speaking with her, but I think that I want to say in 2013, like I thought that was part of the 50th, was that she and Monica kind of called a truce, like a civil.
They did. No, I know that they called a truce. I'm trying to think if that was the last time or if we got another like small blip. I can't remember.
It's off the top of my head. I'm not recalling, but that's okay. So maybe we will get an answer to that with Leslie's passing. Perhaps Mike will show up and be the one to inform Laura.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
That Leslie passed, because I feel like that would be really important. Oh, wait, where is Leslie? She's overseas. She's not in Ireland, though, right?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like Kevin would be saying, oh, and when I went out to lunch with your mom.
Right.
But she has that boyfriend, Marcello, or something like that. Like an Italian boyfriend. Yeah. So let's put your desire for information out there that we need Mike to come to Port Charles and tell Laura Leslie passed away.
Yep.
Even if we only have him for a week.
Right.
I think that'd be good. So I think that was it for our emails. Want to give my hubby a cute little shout out because as we were discussing, Hulu's app is going to be going away and going to be completely Disney. I joked and I said something about how I was like, yeah, and we're going to have to figure out the new name for our Hulu headlines segment because it's not going to be Hulu headlines anymore. And he sat there for a second. And I mean, it literally was only like a second or two. And he's like, so are all the General Hospital ladies now Disney princesses?
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, no, because they have to be a princess first. But that means Felicia is going to be a Disney princess.
I love it.
She is the Disney Aztec princess.
I love it.
So if we could now get that animated movie, Jack Wagner can sing the soundtrack to it.
That would be amazing.
And we're good. That would actually probably be pretty funny to do.
Yeah.
They really could animate the Aztec princess storyline from back in the 80s. Tone it down a little bit, but it has like a little bit, kind of has like a Mulan quality where, she was disguising herself as a boy to steal stuff. And okay, I want this. I now want the Aztec princess Disney animated movie. I should get my son, who's an animator, to do that.
There you go.
But he doesn't want to work for Disney because they are so super strict with stuff.
Understandable. He could do one project. This one project for you.
Yeah.
This is like a freelancer. Here you go.
There we go. Alrighty. That's all that I had. I just thought that was so cute when he mentioned that. And I was like, I have to point that out because technically, because that was the big thing when Star Wars was absorbed into Disney, was that Princess Leia is now a Disney princess. So, yep.
I am for it.
Do you have anything? Oh, you sent me something the other day. What the heck did you send me the other day?
I have no idea.
What did you texted me something?
No idea. I sent it to you and it's gone just like that.
That's why I keep notes. That way I can just
let me see.
Was it?
Oh,
you put that Aunt Stella was on Young Sheldon. Well, you know what? She's also on The Big Bang Theory, and so when you texted me that, it didn't occur to me that I had just said that a couple weeks ago that she was also on Big Bang Theory as a nurse. So
okay,
I'm not done with Big Bang Theory yet, but at least from what I can recall from them having seen her, so she was a nurse, you said, in Young Sheldon?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Young Sheldon had to have his gallbladder out. Yes, his gallbladder out. And so he was like freaked out about staying in the hospital, and he didn't want to stay after like they were keeping him overnight or whatever for observation. He didn't want to stay. And so he was being like lippy about it. And Aunt Stella was like, no, sorry, young man, like this is what you're doing. And it was real quick. I mean, you know how those appearances are. And I just happened to look up and be like, wait a second. Hey, that is Aunt Stella telling him, knock it off, like you're saying there.
So he's from Texas. But here's the thing, is that Sheldon would remember, especially if it was tied to something that was a non-preferred activity, like staying in the hospital.
Yep.
So
that would be really funny if he like reflected back and was like, hey, you were there when I had my gallbladder out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch the episode but the thing is, unless they somehow knew, because Young Sheldon was released after Big Bang Theory as like a prequel series, unless they had the forethought, oh, we're going to bring this lady back if we should ever do a prequel.
Oh, right.
It would not be in the Big Bang episodes that he would recognize her.
Yep, I'm forgetting that the order, the adults came before the kids in the way that show was given. Yeah, I've never watched either in their entirety, but it was just like background noise the one day, and I would happen to look up and was like, hey, that's Aunt Stella.
Like, I recognize that tone. Who's getting yelled at by Aunt Stella today? But that's it. I need to not do this. It's our bedtime show right now. And so I keep falling asleep. And it's like the only shows you should watch at bedtime are ones that you've already watched a bajillion times over. Like I can do Friends. And I'm like, okay, I know which episodes I missed. But there's certain things like I don't know what I'm missing. So
got it.
Stupid of me to have that on as bedtime show. But it's what JD and I are watching right now. And right now that tends to be, the end of the night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so there's your Big Bang Theory Young Sheldon minute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Hulu headlines. On Monday, Tracy cautions Michael. Can I just interject? I really like Rory Gibson. I know that we have said this, but
he's doing a great job.
He's doing so good. Laura gets new intel. Sidwell issues a warning to Drew. Cody dispenses advice. Willow becomes privy to a secret. On Tuesday, Britt wants to celebrate her birthday. Lulu and Nathan bond. Trina makes a commitment. Curtis and Jordan reach a decision. Valentin reassures Carly. And then on Friday, Sunny warns Michael. Christina is taken aback. Alexis decides upon a new strategy. Dante confers with Justine, and Laura gets new marching orders. We forgot to say that the 411 this upcoming week is going to be the recap of 2025.
Yes.
So join us for everything that happened in 2025. The good, the bad, the ugly, the what the heck, the tears, the laughs.
Yes.
I feel like there was more tears than laughs.
Right.
But okay, where do we want to get started? Super short week. Where are we starting?
I feel like it was the week of relationships that I just wanted to keep saying no. I'm not sure. Again, I know I'm kind of like jumping in the middle here, but I'm not sure how we have Lulu and Nathan talking about Maxie and how she just knows she's going to come out of this coma, and Nathan saying he's not sure if she would pick restarting with him versus being with Spinelli. And Lulu isn't like, she did good about not saying, oh yeah, I'm sure she's going to want to be with you because, you know, we're still rallying for Spinelli. But she was like, you know, she'll remember those memories. She'll still care about you, whatever. And then they end the conversation with, and you're one of my people, and I wouldn't have been able to get through this without you. And you know, if you need to count on someone, I'm in your corner. Why are you two making goo-goo eyes at each other and pretending like you could ever be together? This is so against girl code, so against ex's code. Like, what are you doing?
It's not like Maxie died and then Nathan came back to life.
Right.
You know, which still weird, but understandable because they're talking about, because the thing that cracks me up though is when we have these situations where he's like, so what was it like for you, you know, coming back and having seen your family moved on? Okay, there are at least 5 big bullet points that are big differences here, Nathan. 1, you died.
Right.
Lulu was in a coma. She had moved on before that and was basically engaged. Dante thought she was engaged. He didn't know that she was on her way to come tell him that she was not getting engaged to Dustin, but she did move on. They had already had their huge, and granted, the way that they ended things, you know, because Dante had just come back from the WSB and he couldn't deprogram and like all that stuff. I mean, it was absolutely heartbreaking to watch, but she had moved on with a new relationship before she went in her coma. So Dante was devastated because he always loved Lulu, you know, and we've talked about it, you know, neither of us think that he really wanted to end that relationship. It was just what he felt like he had to do because of where he was with the WSB thing. So not the same thing. It's not like she went into the coma married to Dante and then he divorced her during it. Like, Nathan, you died.
Right.
So okay. He died. She was just in a coma. She had already moved on. There were 2 other things. I mean, it's Maxie and Spinelli.
Right.
Like, she has babies with both of you.
Yep.
Without it being weird.
And she had, obviously she had to, because again, she thought you were dead, but she had a whole nother relationship after you because she was with Peter and had Bailey Lou. Like, you're acting like you, her, and James are a family, just the 3 of you. No, she has Georgie back in her life full time, which happened even before her and Spinelli got together. And now she has Bailey Lou. Like, life has taken drastic turns while you were gone. And I'm sorry. Sorry for you. Like, obviously that has to be devastating for you also, but go get yourself a good therapist because Maxie's not going to be yours.
Seeing someone. He said he was seeing someone.
Well, he needs,
obviously they're not that good if he's turning to Lulu for advice, thinking that a coma and death are the same.
Right. Go talk to Britt. She died with you. Not with you.
Right?
But...
No. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Well, because also, because that was something, we kind of touched on it because when Brennan he's always going to be Nathan or James Nathan Faison. And it's like, no, he's actually not.
No.
But
I was totally against that. And then I feel like they were doing the same thing with Carly and Valentin as they're sharing their champagne and he's like, you brought me the one thing that matters most to me, my daughter. Yes, I'm glad that she let Charlotte visit you. Super sticky, like we talked about, especially discussing it in front of Ace, but I can see where she was coming from. Carly's close with her kids. She had that opportunity. I may have done the same thing. But just because she's not really with Brennan, even though she's acting like she's with Brennan, does not mean that she's in a position that she should be moving on with Valentin.
Yeah, it was. I'm very, very thankful that they did not take the leap with Valentin and Carly until they got fan feedback. I'm believing that they're waiting for fan feedback.
I hope so.
Do we do this? Because if they're kissing next week, I mean, the man, we will hear about it on the 411 this week, devastated me in March when we all thought he was legit leaving for.
Right.
I mean, the way that he left was very final.
Yes.
And I can understand he's such a romantic. He really, really is. And with Anna not being there and Carly providing him with access to Charlotte, this happens to women all the time. We tend to be the ones that fall in love with, the connector. It's kind of nice to maybe see him getting a little bit of goo-goo eyes over Carly for being the one to connect him with Charlotte. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm making sense.
No, I get what you're saying. I just cannot ignore the fact that we don't need to keep recycling the same men and women. He can look up to her for being strong and independent. He can be grateful to her for providing him a place to stay, even though she didn't really have much choice, and then for letting him visit with Charlotte and whatever. But we've already had Valentin and Nina. We don't need Valentin and Carly.
Yeah.
They don't need to hook up with the exact same set of men over and over and over again.
This situation is so different, I feel, because I
don't like it.
Carly really would be kind of like the blend between Nina and Anna, because Anna is his past. He is the spy life, all that, and Nina was the domestic, if that's what you can call.
Okay.
They had relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying, but no, I don't.
And like Carly's the in between. Although it was funny because what did she say to him? She said something about, I'm used to mobsters or criminals or something. I forget. What did she say?
Yeah, it was something along that, because he said about being on the run or whatever. Oh, because she said that she saw that he was a good dad, and he said, thank you for seeing me like that instead of, and he kind of paused, and she was like, a criminal? And he was like, yes, most people only categorize me as that, where you're seeing the other side of me too. And she said, well, you have to remember, I have experience with criminals, or something along those lines, that she can obviously see them as more than just the bad things that they've done. But we've had so much back and forth with Carly and Sonny, and her not being able to accept his line of business and the criminal side of him. If we're going to finally put her with a criminal, it needs to be her back with Sonny, which is not what I want. But I'm just saying, after all their back and forth and multiple kids and 8,000 marriages and divorces, if she's going to finally accept that she can be with someone who does bad things, she needs to be back with Sonny, not Valentin.
It's going to be Sonny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, and listen, I love my Valentin and Anna. So, and knowing that
you just
Anna
love Valentin.
I do, but I do love Valentin and Anna. Like, yes, I love them. Oh, this year it'll be 5 years since I got my cameos from them.
Yes.
I'm going to have to figure out how to get Faison for JD.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I don't know how to find this because I don't think he's actually on Cameo because he's like actually in Amsterdam. But where Anna is, we know she's alive. We know that she's being held captive by Faison. Valentin has to rescue her. And they have to have some kind of a romantic rekindling. It cannot be the same old trope of, well, he fell in love with someone else. And I mean, all he knows is that she's just away on WSB business. So she's not dead. She's not in a coma.
Right.
She didn't run away.
Mm-mm.
So I don't think he will. I don't think they will, but there was a little spark there last week. And I
Yeah.
was thankful to not see it go anywhere this week because especially being New Year's Eve, it would have been really easy for them to have just that
I was
extra glass of
afraid.
champagne and kiss at midnight.
Yep. I was
You
afraid
know,
when those fireworks started going off, those fireworks can get you.
I know,
I was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And they
I
didn't.
know. But okay, so what else was your relationship knows this week? Were we done with Carly and Valentin? I feel like that was it.
Yeah. So I'm not opposed to it happening for Curtis and Jordan, but I didn't like that he went there so resolved that his marriage was over after Portia being on the stand and hooked up with Jordan, but he still had his wedding ring on.
Ooh, I didn't see that. Nope,
Mm-hmm.
nope, 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 nope.
Right?
And Portia's had it on, but she's just her. So
She takes it on and off like it's nail polish. It doesn't mean anything to her. She just does whatever she wants to do. And I don't think that she's wearing them right now, but I can't remember the last time that she took them off or put it on or whatever.
I
But
did not even pay attention to that.
I just happened to catch when they woke up the next morning and were like snugly in bed. He had his arm around her, and you can see it plain as day. And I was like, no, 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 no. I understand they were wearing them because they were putting on that facade for the court and everything. But like we said, Portia just laid it out there on the stand the other day. Everyone heard it, and you're furious and you're done. The first thing I would have done was rip that wedding ring off. And if you're to the point that you're
Heck
going
yeah,
to
and you give it
Jordan,
to her in the courtroom and be like,
right,
here
here
you
you
go.
go. Done. Exactly. And the fact that he's not just going to Jordan like, oh, this is a comfort zone. We're going to hook up and then we're going to forget about it tomorrow because we're like, each other's
Yeah.
backslide whenever we need it, but no commitment. They're talking about how they're going to change their future and how they're going to be better this time and they're not going to make the same mistakes. And what did they do that made them think they could do the things that they did and still have a relationship before? And like deep diving into, they then go to breakfast and Sidwell's there and she says hi to him and he's like, okay, well, I understand that you're not going to tell me everything about your business with Sidwell. And she's like, yeah, I can't share everything with you, but understand, I'm still trying to take him down and whatever. Like, it was a major, we're in a relationship conversation. And he had his wedding ring on. No.
Well, and especially with Jordan, because of their past, with her being his ex-wife. I'm surprised that now that you mention it, like I am very surprised that she went ahead with it on because she would also be like, nope, if that's still on there, I'm not doing this. Like I understand because I mean she's been there since before he knew
Right.
a good bit of this stuff. So hate when I miss details like that.
You catch 99% of them. I get that 1%. So it's fair. It's good.
So what were your other?
I think that was really it, is that I was like hating. I feel like they need to figure out something with Gio and Emma still though. Like they're so cute.
She gave him her didgeridoo. It wasn't even a didgeridoo. It was hers.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And I don't know, I'm caught in between. I love that they are getting to know each other and not rushing into things because as we've talked about before, especially with the young couples, I don't want to see them jumping into bed 5 seconds after getting together. But at the same time, they don't do anything. They watch Outback. That's all they ever do together is watch Outback. I want to see them doing something else. Like he should have planned something cute for New Year's. I'm hoping Valentine's Day, one of them does something adorable for the other one to like solidify it more.
Write her a song and serenade her
on the didgeridoo, not the violin.
On the violin. Let's correct that real quick. Clarify that real quick. Because I did think, because they were at the Quartermain mansion and they were getting ready to go out for New Year's, but then Cody asked if they would mind watching Outback so that he could go surprise Molly, which was super sweet. But
I thought that was kind of crappy that he asked them that, though. Like, he knows they're together and he knows it's New Year's Eve. I would never call you on New Year's Eve and be like, hey, I need to go hang out with Ryan, so can you take care of Madeline for me? And that's my kid.
Right, unless it was like an emergency.
Right, right. Ryan is stuck downtown. His car won't start. Can you please watch Madeline?
Absolutely.
Okay. Even though it's not a great day. But no, when I know that you probably have plans of your own, I'm not going to ask you to forfeit your plans to come over to my house so that I can go have cool plans. That's
true.
I feel like he should have said, I'm going to hopefully help Molly get done with her stuff and we're going to come back here. Why don't you invite Trina and them here? Like, I have snacks, I have champagne, I put up the pretty lights and stuff. Like, we'll all have a New Year's party together. And then the kids could have gone home at the end of the fireworks or whatever. And then Molly could have stayed over. But he just totally took them away from their party. That was not nice.
That is true.
And I respect the dogs don't like fireworks. I understand that. But at the same time, like, you're telling me there's not a dog cage somewhere there or a way to shut one of the horse stalls so that the dog can't get out? Lock them upstairs in the bedroom?
Yeah, but where she's still such a little baby, so they didn't have her for the 4th of July, so they probably don't know how she's going to react. That was probably his biggest concern, though, was who could I trust to take care of her if things go south? Like, if...
Right. He didn't want her to run away, but I feel like there should have been a little more consideration there.
Yeah.
I loved seeing him and Molly finally get together, and I thought that was great that he, like, helped her through her work. It wasn't like she abandoned that, but then it got done and then they were dancing and that was sweet. And
I thought that the song was Strawberry Wine at first. Did you hear the beginning of the song? It sounds like the beginning of Dina Carter's Strawberry Wine.
That's the best song ever.
And I didn't look up what song it actually was, but I was like, aw, because he was getting her into country, and I'm like, yes. But no, it was not. Oh, but then she was like, are the fireworks getting louder? And he's like, it's my heart.
She's going to put that line in her book. That line is absolutely going to be in her book.
It had better be. But then, okay, so did they hook up in the office? Did they hook up in his uncle's office that has been confiscated by Turner?
I don't think so. I think that she was willing to hook up. He said, we can't hook up here. She said, yes, we can.
That was so sweet.
And then I'm assuming that then the next line that we didn't get to hear him say was, why don't we go back to my place instead, where there's like an actual bed instead of a couch.
Yeah.
And so then they ended up back there. I don't think that they hooked up in Turner's office, although it would be funny if, like, later this upcoming week, Turner was like cleaning her office and was like, excuse me, whose panties are these? Why are they here?
But we don't need Molly getting in trouble like that, because Molly finally, okay, we say that, but she did this a couple years ago with Brando, but that was a one-night stand. She's finally entering into a new relationship, and it's so freaking cute.
It is. It's cute. It's nice to see her open up again, because it was traumatic, everything that she went through with losing the baby and the messy, not even finished yet ending of her and TJ. So It's good to see her starting fresh and being cute. And they were so cute whenever then James walked in and he's like, Cody, why are you carrying Molly? Is she hurt? And she was quick to, oh no, there was a mouse, so he was saving me from the mouse. And she totally respected that James needed his riding lesson and that she would be back later. She would talk to him later. It was super cute.
But Felicia too. And he's like, isn't his lesson tomorrow? And she's like, well, it was, and we rescheduled because of school schedule. And he's like, yep, we did. Yep.
Yes.
Felicia's so cool. I love her.
Yes, she's a good stepmom, I guess.
Yeah. Kinda.
Yeah. And then James was like, Cody, is she your girlfriend now? And they had opposite answers there. So
I couldn't believe that. Like, how quickly she said no. Like, it would have been one thing for him to just say yes and then her have the look like, oh crap, like, are we? But for her to so quickly be like, no.
it'll have to be a conversation, but I'm with her that you don't want to assume that because as sexist as it is, especially as a girl, you hate to be like, oh, I was the one being clingy after we hooked up and was like, oh, now we're in a relationship. So they'll have a nice conversation about it. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they finally got there because they were another couple like Gio and Emma that it was like every time you saw them, they had a misunderstanding and then ended up in separate places. And it's like, when are they going to finally, not that they had to hook up, but when are they going to finally solidify that this is a relationship they want to be in?
Right.
So
there was a lot of relationship movement this week. Like after 3 episodes, I didn't really think about it only because nothing really happened on Friday other than the James, Felicia, Cody,
right.
Molly thing. But looking back, because we also had Jason and Britt. And why did I get so teary over that?
Oh, wow.
Like, I messed it up.
Wow. I did not get teary-eyed. I thought it was sweet. I like seeing her trying to be vulnerable, but then stepping back like she doesn't want to be too vulnerable and him reassuring her that it's okay.
Yeah. I think that's why I got misty.
And Kai and Trina, too. She told him that she wanted to show him her favorite piece of art, and then she brought out the picture of the painting they had done together and said that she wanted
that was only that this year. That was only in 2025. That feels like that was done forever ago.
Yeah, because for last year's recap, when we were going through new characters, we had just got Kai.
Wow.
Because remember, they were arguing about class and whatever, and that was how they ended up being. I mean, they talked about it this week. That was how they ended up getting to be even friendly with each other, was because he finally was taking that class seriously and asked her to help him.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that was just fall of last year.
Wow.
So
it is amazing when we do these recaps of the stuff that
it is.
Because when she did that, I'm like, but you guys did that like 20 years ago.
Right. Right. It is. It's funny because some stuff you're like, that was so long ago. And then other stuff, it feels like it was just last week. And then they start talking about it and you're like, oh, really? That was months ago? What the heck?
Oh, and Jacinda brought the kids gifts.
She did.
And Tracy was so sweet to her.
She was sweet to her, but I didn't like how harsh she was on Michael. I think that Michael does like her.
I actually kind of agree with Tracy. From her perspective, she doesn't want to see her get used. And I liked that. Like, I liked that she is standing up for this woman who is not family.
Right. Right.
And I mean, she's looking at it in Michael's best interest. Like, you're going to get caught paying off somebody to be your alibi. And you're also like getting her emotionally involved with your kids. Like, that's messed up. But it's interesting to see her even care a little bit about someone that's outside the family like that she's never even met.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But I like that she wasn't just like, oh, and I heard that you have an interesting line of work. You know, like she didn't do anything like that.
Yes. Yeah, she's definitely softening up and I like it.
Yes. There really were just like a lot of short scenes this week, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like they just wanted to give you just a little dabble of everyone.
Kevin was offered a job in Dublin for 6 months and is only going to take it if Laura can go.
Right. I didn't understand him saying that because they've been apart for other things for not quite 6 months. But again, there's airplanes. It's not like you have to wait 6 months to see each other.
Right.
They've been away from each other for long periods of time. If it's only 6 months, why wouldn't he go and take that job and you know, come back on breaks or whatever? She could fly over there and stuff, but there's no way that she's going to be able to give up her career, even if all this stuff with Sidwell wasn't going on. She has just got reelected. How irresponsible would that be to be like, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm out. I actually don't want to be your mayor. Sorry.
Right.
She can't do that to her people. And especially with the complication of Sidwell now. Absolutely not.
Well, that's where it got like a little bit, seriously, why are you asking that? Because he knows, he is fully well aware of the car trouble that she had.
Yes.
You know, he just thanks Sunny for helping her with said car trouble.
Yeah.
You don't ask someone to come to Dublin with you for 6 months just because they had car trouble.
Right. Especially when that's not going to solve it. Like, if this was a lifetime job, we're just going to move to Dublin and we're never going to come back. Okay, maybe. I don't know how far Sidwell's reach is, so maybe you could withdraw your position as mayor, move far away, and never come back. But assuming that's not what we're looking to do, leaving for 6 months is just going to make everything worse.
And we don't know, she has to have a deputy mayor, but we don't know who that is.
No.
Because it was Jordan, and then Jordan resigned.
Right.
But we never had anyone.
No, because it was that lady that she didn't like before Jordan.
Elaine Ashby. We just talked about her, I think it was during Bobby.
But no one ever said that she was retaking over the role once Jordan left.
She died, remember? Victor threw her off the
Oh, that's right. Well, then she's definitely not taking over
She's definitely not. She's unable, she's unavailable to fulfill the position.
I mean, maybe she could come back from the dead for a good job offer, just like Britt does, come on.
Yeah. Well, and that's Jordan filled Laura in on Ava and Lucy vying for Sidwell's attention, and they're talking about how to use that to their advantage.
Yes.
Curious how that's going to work out.
I really feel like Ava should be smarter. I mean, Lucy should definitely be smarter.
I don't feel like Ava was romantically interested. I think she was 100% business.
I hope so. I hope it's staying like that because, yeah, Ava should be smarter.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't think that I think she may have made some implications after Lucy made some accusations, but definitely was not at all interested beforehand. And she might play up like a little bit of flirtiness in front of Lucy now, but I don't think she was flirting with Sidwell until Lucy accused her of it. She was just being Ava. She was trying to sell some work, I mean, it's collectors have to be used to that. If you are in any kind of a collection and somebody else who's also a collector, one of the first things that they talk about is like, and by the way, like if you ever want to get rid of this, or I know someone that could, maybe give you a lot of money for it or whatever, it happens. People do that with cars all the time. Like they see these old cars and everything and it's,
yeah,
hey, if you ever want to get rid of it, let me know, so-and-so collects them, whatever. So yeah, she mentioned I have an antiquities dealer, but she wasn't necessarily saying sell it right this second.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of was, but she wasn't. Who else?
Oh, we saw Lucas go off on Willow again.
Yes, that was interesting.
He was trying so hard. He said to Marco, like, I think I'm just going to go upstairs. I don't want to be around her. This is not a good idea. And Marco was like, it'll be fine. Nope, wasn't fine. And then Drew storms in like he's going to save her. Like, don't talk to my wife like that. Oh, shut up, Drew.
Right.
He's such a pain.
Who else did he yell at this week?
I don't think he yelled at anyone else. I think it was more Sidwell being concerned.
Yes.
About
remember we talked about how we don't know how they got connected?
Right.
Because they were having that conversation and Sidwell was kind of saying the same thing that he kind of said to Kevin, like, I really don't need you. I mean, he really doesn't need Kevin. Kevin has zero input in any of this, but like I felt like he kind of implied to Drew, like, I can replace you. So you're not that great.
Right.
Do you think that the congressman that Drew took over for that died was dirty? And that's how he got the seat, was because the congressman needed to pick someone to take over that he knew would?
I don't know, because funny enough, we talked about this in the recap last year of how, like, why did Drew get picked to be a congressman? Because he was introduced through Nina to the congressman.
That's right.
Because he had stolen the idea from Jordan
about the Esplanade.
Yes. And it was like all of a sudden they were best friends. I even made the comment. It would have been one thing if they had kept seeing each other every month at a different charity event and made jokes like, oh, funny running into you here today or whatever. And then after 6 months or so, him being like, you know what, we obviously share a lot in common and we've had all these in-depth conversations at these different charity events. We're on the same page. Why don't you run to take over my seat? Because I'd like to see the stuff that I started continue. But it wasn't like that. It was like they met one time and then all of a sudden Conky was like, you know what, it's time for me to retire, so why don't you take my seat?
Yeah. I mean, and you know that I get tapped to do things frequently.
Right. But you have
does happen a lot of times.
But you
on the
also
first
have
meeting.
a reputation of doing, like, I know the things that you have, like the boards you've been on, the things that you've chaired, the things that you've volunteered for, and whatever. If I came across an opportunity that was along those same lines, I would absolutely say to my other friend, oh, I know you don't know my friend Shannon, but I bet if you guys talked, she would be great for this position.
That's true.
If it was something out of left field, I wouldn't call you and be like, hey, my friend needs a tax pro. I know you like to take on projects. Why don't you do this? Like,
no, do not. No, listen, I am aware of my weaknesses.
Exactly. I would never make that connection because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, my husband ran into someone and it was just through her yard sign business, and she was a client and she has a similar situation with her daughter. And so she's talking and he's like, I feel like I am talking to my wife right now. Here's her number. And so she's texted me and been like, seriously, we need to get together. We need to change this. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but
there's still limitations to what one person can do. And until you know what tricks they have in their hat, you shouldn't be depending on them for major changes. And that's where this doesn't make any sense. Like, Drew.
Although maybe he just took the Quartermaine name because the reputation of the Quartermaines, because at the time he was.
That's true. It could be based completely on Quartermaine, but
he might have.
I still feel like
I don't feel like he was dirty. Like, I got the impression that he was just a sweet old man that found out that he had stage 4 cancer and needed to find a replacement. And Nina suggested, because this guy just wants to build a park.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that he was 100% clean, but he didn't strike me as someone that was like Sidwell level dirty either.
Right.
Like, there's
definitely. He was bought and.
Yeah. So I don't understand. I don't understand. And there has to be another congressman, maybe not as easily located or as conveniently located, but there has to be another congressman that Sidwell could buy off too, if Drew's not going to do what he needs him to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, our districts are pretty darn close together.
Right.
There has to be somebody in the neighboring district that might be willing to, I mean, granted, I know they're going after the peers and like all that stuff, but because he ran did he run unopposed?
I wouldn't think so, because they had like the big to-do about it. Do you have the big to-do if you know you're going to win?
There was that girl. It was a girl that was up against him.
I don't remember.
But he did. He was up against, there was a woman, I'm sorry, not just a girl, but there was a woman that was running against him. I don't remember all the details, but yeah.
That's okay. The whole thing's confusing because, again, Drew got elected. 5 seconds later, he's like, I need to move to DC, which, to my knowledge, that's not necessary. And on top of that, like, what has he done?
Yeah, nothing.
We haven't heard about him making any changes, petitioning for any great anything. Like, I really cannot think of one thing that we've heard him standing behind.
He has not even gone to DC.
Right. Other than for sleepovers with Willow here and there.
Right. The one time he went.
Yeah. And he keeps threatening to move there like he's going to be elected for another term. If I was looking at his track record, I would be like, dude, you haven't done anything. I'm not voting for you again.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm just like really thinking. I'm like, yeah, he's really not done.
That's what Sidwell should be more concerned with. Not that he's going to have a bad name because his wife tried to murder him, but that he's not going to have any name at all because he hasn't stood behind anything.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because we also heard from Sidwell that Laura has done a great job of promoting the positive aspect of him acquiring the peers.
Right. I feel like Laura gets more done in a week than Drew's got done in this whole year and a half of being a congressman. And he obviously knows that he has Laura under his thumb because we saw the meeting this week of, what her next assignment is. And then he threatened Charlotte and Ace without actually threatening them. So she's not going to go against them. And I feel like that's going to be her answer to Kevin. I can't leave. That would put my family in jeopardy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of how it's like, what is the point of telling us that Kevin's going? Because Not for nothing. And we love Kevin. We go weeks without seeing him. We go months without seeing him.
Yeah.
He jumps in every now and again for like a good storyline, but it's very frequent that we don't see him. So what is the purpose of...
And they just mentioned that he had that new client at the hospital because we were trying to figure out why they mentioned that to us, like who this new client was going to be. So I thought they were going to start a whole new storyline in that direction of Kevin's going to head up a drug and alcohol program for young adults or something.
Oh, it will be fantastic, being that Charlie's is not getting rebuilt, if Kevin partnered with Christina to work on the LGBTQ plus thing.
Yeah. That would be a great idea.
That would be good. However, on a personal note, John Lindstrom is releasing a new book in the spring, so it makes sense that his character is going to be gone.
Right. But I agree with you that he could have just been gone.
Right. The same way that he was. I'm trying to find when is it being released.
We even mentioned that they did do the thing that we had talked about wherein Laura was having the car trouble, or right before she had the car trouble, where she called him and left him a voicemail. They could do that for the next 6 months without announcing that he's in Ireland.
Sorry, I'm looking up his book tour.
It's okay. You're good.
Trying to see if we're going to go see him. I read his book. It was really good. Like, I already pre-ordered the follow-up.
Oh, nice.
When is this book coming out? Okay, April 14th. So it's still premature for when... Hey, that's going to make it... Oh, I think Easter's in March. Never mind.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was going to say that's going to make a nice Easter basket gift for myself, but it's still on pre-order. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he has no idea we're promoting it. But his first book was Hollywood Hustle, and the next one is Hollywood Payback.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good. It's like a little thriller mystery, murder, crime solving, right up my alley. But yeah, so that doesn't even line up with his book tour. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
All right, what else? Oh, Marco is lying like crazy to Lucas, and it is breaking my heart.
But you know what? It's gonna set Lucas up to be heartbroken and have Brad fix it.
Yes, but I feel like Brad has kind of finally started to make peace-ish with it's over.
That's fine, but they can still circle back around and work things out and get back together, just like Jordan and Curtis are doing. Our hope for this year was that Lucas and Brad were going to get back together.
I know.
And then Brad was gone for months because he had that big payout and he was wasting money with some model. So now this year we can get what we hoped for last year. I'm sticking to it. I want it to happen, darn.
I like them. I just don't want,
Okay, you knew that Marco was sneaky and not 100% honest from the first time we met him, whenever he accidentally dropped that card on the floor.
Because we thought that he was targeting Lucas. So now it's like, I feel like they were given the opening for that to happen, but then to have him be like actually a nice guy and now have it be, oh, he's not. And I'm sorry. We didn't build the relationship with him and Natalia for him to be this angry over her death. That sounded absolutely horrible.
But I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We did not see their connection. It looked like right. And maybe he's more mad at himself for not having given his mom the listening when she did reach out to apologize. But I still don't feel like she actually reached out to apologize.
I kind of hope that she didn't, because she was so awful to Blaze. If she was accepting of Marco super early and then was so horrible to Blaze, then
that's what I meant was like right before, because how she was actually trying to rebuild with Blaze.
Okay.
Because I felt like when she saw him, it was, he had a lot of walls up, but I also don't feel like she was actually trying to break down the walls.
Right. Not at first.
Or make up for what she did.
Yeah. I don't know. I can understand being angry that he didn't have more time because, I mean, that's just one of those things with death. No matter when people die, you feel like you could use more time. But he's holding grudges that he has to be able to think through and realize, like, Sonny didn't do this. Sonny didn't set it up.
I wish that he were digging a little more with Lucas about Sonny. Like, and they've had time. He could do it as a slow drip.
Right.
Where he could be uncovering, because Lucas is very fair when it comes to honest opinions about things. And he has been very upfront about not a fan of Sonny's work, but, he's a great dad.
Right.
So I feel like he could have maybe gotten the perspective from Lucas. Do you think Sonny had my mom killed?
Right.
And I think that Lucas would have been like,
probably not, because Sonny doesn't make a habit of going around and killing women that he's been involved with. And I know that she had information on him, but she didn't have such dire information on him that it was going to put him away for life or something. Like,
listen, if Gladys got hooked up and just sent away,
right,
so would Natalia.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what he was trying to do.
Right.
He was trying to send her away. So, and I think that's the thing, is that Lucas would probably say, no, he would really make sure that she was okay and just fire off.
Right.
Because also Natalia's not a violent person. And I think that that's what if Natalia were a violent person, and he knew that Sidwell was Natalia's ex, and Sidwell does not, or Sonny would not have killed the mother of Sidwell's children.
Right.
Yeah, no. But I think that Lucas would have thought all that through. So,
and he cared, obviously. Sonny cares about Christina, and Christina cares about Blaze, so you're not going to kill Blaze's mom.
Right.
So yeah, there's just way too many different avenues that someone needs to have a talk with him and be like, your reasoning doesn't make sense. Let's get off of this trying to hurt Sonny.
Speaking of reasoning not making sense and Sonny, what kind of restaurant is Cafe Cherie? I have treated myself to solo dinners, and I definitely have done it to get work done. When I was in school, I used to go to a certain restaurant once a month, and it was between two of my Thursday night classes, and it was my once a month treat to myself, and I would get some work done, but it was like a little diner.
Right.
I am not wearing, she was dressed more, she was business casual, but more on the casual, at a place where Britt and Brad just dined and dashed a $2,000 tab.
Yeah.
She's sitting there just doing work. I know she's a district attorney. She's not a private practice charging $100,000 retainer.
Right.
She's a public servant.
Right.
And they're just having their casual coffee there. It's probably a $50 coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They have the espresso bean plant in the back.
And how relaxing is this dinner if you're dropping that kind of money on it? Either I'm in relax mode, I'm going to spend some money and not think about work. I'm not going to spend that kind of money and try to work at the same time. I'm not going to risk my $50 coffee getting cold because I'm in the middle of typing something up.
Right. I'm just so confused.
And Sonny's made sense because he was supposed to meet Brick there. So it makes sense that he was there. But her just as I wanted to go somewhere quiet to get some work done. What?
If she were reading a book, to having a treat yourself night, you're reading a book, you're having a glass of wine, you are relaxing with your favorite steak. Yes.
Right.
But not spread out all over and she even had her leg up on the seat.
Yeah.
Which is one of my comfy positions. So I am not putting my leg up on my seat and sitting on my foot at a place I could drop $2,000 on a dinner.
Right. I'm with you. That was weird.
Yeah. And then Turner and Dante discussed how Alexis is changing her. Well, okay, so first they discussed how soft she was on Portia.
Yes.
And how she kind of felt bad I did not know all that was coming out.
Right. And I think she had a good point that the jury was going to look negatively at Alexis for making Portia say all that stuff that wasn't relevant to the case and just threw herself under the bus. So to come in with a line of questioning that was going to stick with that or be super harsh would have just made her look bad. So it was better to be no further questions. I reserve the right to re-question if I need to.
Exactly.
But then she was saying that whatever Dante says, the jury will trust because he is a trustworthy person.
And then they get word that Alexis is changing her tactic and she's bringing in the third-party culprit to point the finger at Michael could have done it. And Christina picked up the paper, happened to see it. Okay.
Happened to see it. She didn't happen to see it. She was
left it out.
Alexis thought she was home alone at her house that Christina
wasn't there. I thought that she left the room and Christina saw it. I thought that...
No, Christina came in the door yelling for Molly or Alexis that she lost her charger. She doesn't know where her charger is. And then she turned to the coffee table and saw all the law books out and walked over and picked it up. It was not, I thought we were going to have coffee together this morning, Mom, so I moved your notebook that you left laying out. She was not supposed to be there.
I thought she was there and Alexis left the room and she saw it. Okay. Then never mind.
Because again, as far as we know, it's still only Molly living there, right? Christina is at her apartment. So Christina had no reason to be there.
Right. And I mean, we go back to my work all the time. It's like if you came over and I just had my contracts out and I was the only one home and you walked in, like you should not be reading them. But if I leave the room and you're just sitting at my table and I leave them out, that's kind of on me.
Right. Like obviously no one should be looking at your personal information no matter what. But if you have something sitting right in front of me, I may happen to glance down and just be like, oh man, I recognize that last name. Okay, I'm not trying to be in your business. But no, Christina was not supposed to be there, walked in and then picked up the file and opened it up. It wasn't like it was open to that page just laying on the table either. She picked up the notebook and opened it and then read through the list and was like, what is this? And Alexis was like, confidential stuff. What are you doing?
Yep. So she's bringing in because she got that note saying that Michael knows more than he's talking about, whatever. And I think that it's going to be that Michael saw Willow, and so he's going to be backed into a corner that he has to say it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is going to go the way that Alexis thinks that it's going to go, but I also don't disagree with what she's doing. She's backed into a corner at this moment herself. The only logical thing to do is to give other suspects. She wants to pick one that's a little more concrete than Portia ended up being because that just blew up in her face. And so Michael is an obvious choice. I get that Christina's angry. I understand why, but sorry about your luck. That's what I have to do for my job.
Also, it's going to be beautiful when it blows up in Drew's face because he's going to think that he's getting everything that he asked for. And yeah, Michael's going to go down. And then, nope, sorry.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yep.
I can't wait to see the look on his face when Michael has to admit under oath that he saw Willow walking out of that house.
Yep. All right. What else? Oh, Scout told Willow.
Oh, I don't know if that was good or bad. I understood her wanting to trust Willow because Willow had been nice enough to take her over there, but she heard that Willow had said that the reason or like the limitation on it was that he couldn't be there. And then she's like, can I tell you a secret? My brother was there.
Yeah.
I feel like since it's the first offense that Willow will be nice enough to say to Alexis privately away from Drew and Scout, hey, listen, I'm trying to do what I think is best for Scout, but at the same time, if this happens again, you're putting me in a position that I can't be in because I am his wife and her stepmom. And give Alexis the chance to say, like, I did not know he was stopping by. Once he did, I let them have 5 minutes together, and then I told him, you have to leave. I'm sorry.
He was so excited, and he's like, we're going to go build a snowman. And Alexis like, you guys go out back. There's more snow there and more space. And then when Danny came in, she was like, honey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to go.
It was so sad.
Oh, this is not my thought, so I am not taking credit for it. But I did see on one of the General Hospital Facebook pages that people were drawing parallels, though, to remember how Alexis wouldn't let Christina and Michael hang out because Michael was so bad after he shot Claudia and that wasn't really fair. And so
I wasn't watching then, no.
Oh, okay, yes. So whenever they were like teenagers, Alexis would not let Christina hang out with Michael because he was bad. And so it's
Isn't that when she got involved with Kiefer, though? Was that the same time-ish?
Kiefer was after that.
Okay.
But she like put limitations on Michael and Christina hanging out because Michael, in her mind, Michael was bad because he was acting like Sonny and all the other bad influences in his life and stuff. And so now she should be drawing the same conclusion of like, oh man, I messed up. Look at how close Chrissy and Michael are now. And they could have been like this before if I wouldn't have been such a jerk, just like Drew is keeping Scout and Danny apart. And I was like, I forgot that she was like not very nice to Michael for a while.
And that's when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He was a young man, but he was underage. That was
underage,
why that was the big deal that he actually went to Pentonville.
Right.
What else? Oh, but sticking with Michael, Sonny was like, you should not be attacking the mother of your children on the stand. Yes. It's not going to go well for you. And he brought up Duke. And he's like, and how did you feel when your mom married your abuser?
Yep. That was crazy.
I don't know how Sonny didn't like cry or snap out.
Yeah.
Like that just came out of nowhere. And then he's like, I'll do anything for my kids. And Sonny's like, anything? And then Michael, the next scene was Michael said, I know what you're implying. All I'm saying is that everything I will say on stand is to the benefit of my children. Because I think that, we've been saying it. We know that he does not want to say these things. That's why he has not come forward yet. He's been trying to.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. I think he really does want Willow to get some mental health help and realize that Drew is controlling and manipulative and a jerk and get away from him and then start rebuilding her relationship with the kids. I don't think that it is his intention to cut her out forever if she gets away from Drew. And I don't think that's a controlling, like, I just don't like your boyfriend. It's that Drew's a jerk.
Right. I think that's it, though.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. That was a lot for 3 days.
But Tracy and Michael did have good conversations about how it was the first Christmas without Monica. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you did a great job.
Yes. Oh, and Emma asked Gio about that. Did he feel pressured to play the music? Was he okay? And he said that he didn't feel pressured, but it didn't stir the same emotions that it used to. So he doesn't know what that means.
And Tracy was even soft and was like, I hope that he didn't feel pressured. That's what she was talking to Michael about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that looks like it.
Reality check.
So how was your week?
I feel like it was a typical week between Christmas and New Year's, especially whenever Christmas falls on a Thursday, and obviously then so does New Year's. Like, I have no idea what day of the week it is. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be, where the kids are supposed to be, who's doing what. And then I was leaving for work on Wednesday, and it had been snowy out, and so I was like, okay, I have to leave a few minutes early and be like careful or whatever. And I got in my car and I got like less than 5 minutes up the road, and all of a sudden everything in my car just went off. It would not work at all. And I had yes. It was kind of funny because like a legit turtle icon came up across my screen and was like, no, you cannot go. You're in turtle mode. That's what it said. Turtle mode, you're exceeding the limit you can go. And then everything turned red and it said that I didn't have enough electrical power. And so I was luckily able to shut it off, wait a few minutes, turn around and come back home. I was still, like, my street's long, but I was still on my street. So I was able to turn around and come back. But, so I have an electric vehicle, and it wasn't the main battery that's like equivalent to your engine in a gas car, but there's a smaller battery that runs all the other electrical stuff, like all the lights, your car, your chargers, all that kind of stuff, whatever. That battery is completely dead. And so I had roadside assistance here today, and they tried to jump it, and they were like, no, it's like dead. We can't jump it. And so then they had to tow it to the dealership that I'm hoping tomorrow will just like switch the battery out, because that's all that it is, but switch the battery out real fast and be done. Because how the heck does just the battery die? It's less than 2 years old. Like, come on.
And the tiny battery at that.
Yes, it's like a super tiny battery. It's like not even a normal car battery. It's like a small battery, like a 12 volt or something. It's insane. So
why couldn't, okay.
I don't know why so I called, it's a Hyundai. So I called Hyundai, and they were who sent the initial truck out, but they don't send the tow trucks out first thing anymore. They just send roadside. And so it's just a like regular truck. And so that guy had like the jumpy box, and he tried to jump it. And I'm sure that's the technical term for it, is the jumpy box.
Absolutely is.
So he used the jumpy box to try to get it to start. And as soon as he would disconnect it, it wouldn't run. Like it died right then. So then whenever they called the tow truck, they called a triple A tow truck, even though it's not, like, I guess Hyundai works with them or whatever. Like, I don't have AAA. And so I was like, don't they carry batteries with them? Like, can't they just pop the battery out and put a new one in? But for some reason, no, they could not. So they just had to tow it to our local dealer. So I'm hoping tomorrow, like I said, it should be a very simple pop the battery out, pop a new one in, covered under warranty. Let's get me back on the road. But in that moment, I'm like, why is there a turtle in my car?
So, I just love that there's a turtle.
It is a turtle. Like, Madeline was in the car. She was laughing. She was like, I mean, at least they gave you a turtle. And I was like, shut up.
Slow down.
It was slow mode turtle.
That's funny.
Yep. And I thought it was funny because, you know, there's so many people that don't like electric cars. And I was like, this isn't even an electric car issue because it's not the electric battery. It's the battery that supports everything else. Like,
I don't think I have a tiny battery in my car, so I'm going to go with it is an electric car thing.
I think it has something to do with the wiring. Like, I saw after the fact that there was recalls on it, but it's not. It seems like it's an issue with the way that was wired to that battery, not like you can say, oh, it's an electric car thing or whatever. So
I really don't have my next car. I want to be a hybrid. So like,
I know that other people have strong opinions one way or the other, but I've said from the beginning, I got my car because it was a super good deal and I needed a car like at that moment. And so I feel like there's definitely pros to it as far as if you're just driving around town like I do, but if you're trying to go on trips, I would never recommend it to somebody because it's a lot more work than what I am comfortable with, but other people love it. So, but yeah. Like I said, it was just funny because when it first died, I was waiting for everyone that I know to be like, well, that's because it's an electric car. And I was like, no, it's not the engine battery. It's this other stupid battery.
It's because things are now built to be replaced and not last.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what it is.
Yes, exactly. But
I had this conversation with a friend over their family member is getting ready to sell their house and like the air conditioner is like 20 something years old. I was like, yeah, it's probably going to last a lot longer than the one that was installed 5 years ago, but.
Right, exactly. Yeah, keep the old stuff as long as you can. But
yep.
At least I had a cute turtle. So that was my week.
Well, that's fun.
And then it was just a boring New Year's Eve. It was just me and Ryan. All the kids had either cool plans or no plans, but because it was snowy, it was like, why bother trying to get together for whatever? Mm-hmm. And then we did Christmas at Matt's house New Year's Day, and that was nice just to exchange presents. And I had got him when he was a teenager. He was obsessed with cosmic brownies, and Walmart this year had a cosmic brownie candle. So that was my, like, not his big present, but my, like, exciting, nostalgia present to give to him was, here's a cosmic brownie candle.
That's cute, though. I like that.
So it was nice. So how about you? What'd you do?
Nothing really, kind of the same. We slept until, like, between 9 and 10 almost every single day this week. And this morning we were like, we have got to get off this kick because Monday
real life starts next week.
Yep. Really didn't do anything. We always watch like a series of movies or a TV series or something on New Year's Eve. And this year my daughter picked Studio Ghibli. And so we watched a bunch of those movies. This is the first year that like my son had a job. And so he was working until he didn't get home until almost 6. And, but it was good. She made it the whole day. She actually stayed up. She usually either takes a nap or doesn't make it till midnight. And she made it. I barely did. And, yeah, I think kind of just like a lot of the same stuff. We went and saw Stranger Things in theaters on New Year's Day, and I had a bit of a midlife crisis that I have seen so many parents posting the same thing that like, so Stranger Things was my thing with my son. JD wanted nothing to do with it. I saw the preview and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And I showed it to JD. He's like, eh. So then my son was sick a handful of days, like in his entire school career. And that debuted in July. And I think that it was like a couple months later, he was homesick and I came home. I was at work or something, came home and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, watching Stranger Things. I was like, ooh. I'm like, I will watch it with you. I think he was only like 2 or 3 episodes in. And so we started back at day 1. And I thought JD came in the 3rd season, but then I was like, no, because the third season debuted on 4th of July. And my son and I, like, we slept downstairs, but like we went to bed, but then like woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start watching it just to say that we could. And JD wanted nothing to do with that. Like, so he wasn't watching it yet. So like if he had been watching it, he would have done that with us. So like, I don't think he came in until the 4th season almost, or halfway through the third, whatever. So like he was pretty late. So like this has always been my thing with my son. It was, if we couldn't watch it together when it was released, we rearranged everything, you know, made sure that we waited for each other to watch it. And I mean, he had just turned 14 when it started. Like he wasn't driving. He had just gotten his first cell phone. They were in middle school.
Yeah.
You know, like they were these kids. And it was, all right, if you don't know this by now, it's not like a huge spoiler, but it kind of is. And I did it to myself. I was reading something and there was something about Prince. And I'm a huge Prince fan. So I was like, they're releasing something from Prince today. I didn't see the estate talk about any of this, whatever. And so it opened TikTok and it said visualizer dropping in, and it was like released hours and hours and hours beforehand. And it was just the riff from Purple Rain. And it's like link in bio. So I clicked on the link and it was just showing, it was playing Purple Rain, but it was just a record spinning. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, I don't understand. No. Like, is there a new album coming out? Like a new compilation? Are there deep dives? Like the Beatles anthology just released the 4th one. I'm like, are we opening the vault? Like, what's happening right now? Zero register of Stranger Things in my head.
Right.
Zero. Even though looking back at the video now, the very first flash, it was red. And then it went to purple. I'm not thinking Stranger Things and Prince.
Right.
So then I was like, I think I just saw a spoiler that I don't know about. And then when we were on our way, Erica was like, does it have to do with a color? I'm like, yeah. She's like, does it have to do with an artist who's no longer with us? I was like, yes. She's like, I saw it too, and I have no idea. The second When Doves Cry started, like I bawled. I cried so many times. Have you watched it yet?
I did, yes.
So many times during it. But then when Purple Rain was playing, like I was done. I was so emotionally exhausted from that show. It's all I could think of, like, this is going to be the last thing that I have with my son like that, because in 10 years, he's going to be 33. Or he's not, I am praying to God that he is not going to still be living in my house when he is 33 years old, you know?
Okay,
like,
but
I know we're going to have new things and we're going to like all those things, but
it won't be the same as someone whose son no longer lives with her. It will not be the same, but you will still have, if he lives close by, you can still have other things, because that is actually who I watched the ending with, was my son. And it was cute because I didn't get into it in the beginning. I was like, it didn't occur to me that it had been around for so long. And I saw your post and I was like, that would have made Madeline like 3. I don't remember this being out when Madeline was 3, but I guess it obviously was. And so I just started it over the last like 3 years or so that Madeline was getting into it and we were watching it. And so it was cute when we were at Matt's house for New Year's Day. Madeline was leaving with her older sisters to go back to their dad's house. And she was like, listen, I will give you permission to watch it with Matt because I know you want to, but you can't spoil it. And we are rewatching it together when I come home on Sunday. And I was like, yes, absolutely. And so it has been a thing. And there was other shows that we have done. I'm very blessed. I know that Matt is only 15 minutes from me, but other shows that we have made a point of same kind of thing. Don't watch it without me, blah, blah, blah. Saturday, we're going to get together, order some pizza and watch the show. So you may have those things with him. It just won't be the same.
It's the last thing I have with my little boy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, especially since it started
not shorter than
when
me
he was that little. Yeah.
He was taller than me by that point, I think. I think he was taller than me by that point.
I think
just
so
barely.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where, and when it was over and we stayed through the credits. Okay, first of all, I love the fact that clapping has come back to the movie theater. Like clapping at the end of movies when we saw Hamilton and Wicked. And I don't know if maybe it's just the people that are going to see these types of productions, because also Merrily We Roll Along, like, because they were all theater, you clap, but then everyone clapped. It wasn't like a super engaging audience that like if you've seen like any clips, like some, but like there were definitely, nobody got mad if someone was like, wow. But I gave him a hug and I was like, thank you. Like this was our thing. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, it's great. And now they're grown up. And I think that the reason that people don't realize that it's been so long is because it was only 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So 5 seasons over 10 years sounds like what?
Right.
But, COVID and the writer strike did not help. We're actually lucky that we got an end at all. So there's that. But all right, enough of our Stranger Things. We started off with the Big Bang Theory review and now Stranger Things. Oh, well, so then after that, I come home and take a nap because no kidding, like I was emotionally exhausted. Wicked for Good came out on New Year's Day for sale, like that you could buy it. So JD hadn't seen it yet, and my son didn't want to watch it. My daughter went and saw it in the theater with us, and she does not rewatch things that make her sad.
Okay.
So, but me, Erica, and JD watched Wicked for Good because I had not had enough crying for the day.
Sounds like.
Yeah. So today was kind of a chill day.
I understand.
Thank you, General Hospital, for not making me. Thank goodness I didn't watch Anthony Geary's last.
Right?
Oy. But I guess that could kind of lead us into join us on Friday.
No,
Thursday, as we recap all of 2025.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.